Good afternoon, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing to you Freddi Fish 3, The Case of the Stolen Conch Shell for the Nintendo Switch. I highly recommend that before you go into this, you watch one of my Putt-Putt reviews, as this is done by the same company and shares the same basic engine, so that'll really help speed things along. This was a really weird release schedule, as Freddi Fish 1 was released on the Wii, and then Freddi Fish 3 was released on the Switch. So where's Freddi Fish 2? Is that just going to forever be stuck on the PC or the iPhone or whatnot? Or is Humongous just really out of whack with how their games should be released? Either way, the game stands on its own really well. It doesn't really have a whole lot of established characters from other games besides Freddi, Fish, and Luther. So the basic premise is that Freddi and Luther are trying to find 3 golden pipes so that the big conch shell celebration can continue. Yeah, it's not very heavy on story at all. It presents itself as this devastating mystery of oh no, who stole the exalted grand conch shell for this annual festival, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You're basically trying to find these golden pipes, and you're trying to help people along the way. Well, I shouldn't say people, because Freddi and Luther are underwater, and everything else is underwater, except for this one monkey, if you try to go above the water. So, you'll point and click, as you did in the Putt-Putt games, the main difference being that they don't really have a HUD like Putt-Putt did, so whereas in those games you could honk the horn or listen to the radio, you just have a set of bubbles, and each bubble contains a different item that you pick up on your quest. The scenery is a little less interesting than the Putt-Putt games as well. With the entire game taking place underwater, you can only see the same old watery scenery so much before you eventually get bored. However, one thing that sets this game apart from the Putt-Putt games is the comedic banter between Freddi and Luther. That's often very hilarious. And the fact that this is in the slightly higher tier of difficulty by Humongous Entertainment standards. As I mentioned in those reviews, the games go from Putt-Putt to Freddi Fish to Pajama Sam to Spy Fox, in terms of going from easier to harder. So this game is slightly more challenging, maybe appealing to more of the 6 to 9-year-olds of the world. If you're an adult, you're still probably going to find this mind-numbingly dull as far as the challenges go, as this game is still not very hard at all. But I highly recommend that you check it out for maybe a person in the single digits who wants to play something family friendly, but you're not sure about content, as this game is definitely going to provide a very clean family experience. There is one joke that adults might say, did they really have to sneak that in? But you really kind of have to be looking for it, I would imagine. Now, just like Putt-Putt travels through time, one thing that's cool about Freddi Fish 3 is that the game changes every time you play it. So the golden pipes can be in different locations, and you might even run into different characters that you might not have otherwise interacted with on other playthroughs. So that adds for some neat replay value. Albeit, it doesn't seem like the changes are as impactful as they were in the Putt-Putt games, but it's still nice that you can replay the game and different stuff will happen, and I definitely wish other video games would be like this. Maybe this is the precursor to randomizers. So overall, I think that Freddi Fish 3 it's a pretty standard Freddi Fish game. Not a whole lot is really involved, but it's still a pretty good time. The animation still holds up really well. Unlike Putt-Putt Travels Through Time, the waterfall is actually animated. You'll know what I mean when you get to it. And the puzzles feel slightly more difficult. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same old as far as Humongous Entertainment games go. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Let me know if I missed anything down in the comments, or if you have any questions or concerns. And until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and man, if only I could hold my breath underwater for as long as Freddi, Fish, and Luther do. Bye!